Hello and welcome back to So You Want to Start a Business, the podcast for people who are thinking about starting a business or have maybe started a business recently and are looking for inspiration from those who have been through the journey before. In this particular episode, I'm actually reading the next chapter of my book, Chapter 3, and it's one of my favorite chapters. It's called Your Clients. This book is available at Amazon, So You Want to Start a Business, as a Kindle or a physical book. It's also available through Book Depository and Booktopia in Australia. So wherever you buy your books online, the book is available. You may also be able to find it at your local bookshop. So you just need to go and ask them to order it for you. Okay, so let's jump into Chapter 3, Your Clients. A lot of times people don't know what they want until you show it to them, is one of the famous quotes from Steve Jobs, and it's so true, isn't it? So you've probably heard the expression, it takes two to tango. If you've ever watched anyone dance the tango, you'll know that both partners are essential. They move in relation to one another, and when we use this everyday expression, it commonly indicates that one person or entity is inextricably linked to another. Your business is one of those tango dancers, and your client is your dance partner. You are inextricably linked. The two critical aspects to a successful business in their simplest form: one party offers something for sale, a product or a service, and one party buys that product or service. It's as simple as that, really. They, the second party, they're out there. You just need to find them. And the first step to finding them is to identify the key characteristics of your ideal client. When you think about your main idea, whom do you imagine you are creating it for? And the answer here, while it might be very tempting, it's not everyone. Though if I had $1 for every time I heard the answer everyone, I would indeed be very rich. Everyone is not your market. Everyone is not your ideal client. Even some of the biggest brands in the world would never claim to have everyone as their customers. Very clear about the characteristics of their ideal client. What do you know about the type of person who needs your product or service? The more you know about your client, the more you'll be able to connect with them through your marketing, your advertising, your social media platforms, and so on. So to let them know how your product and or service is the one designed specifically with them in mind. Ultimately, you want to be able to map out a day in the life of your client. Every small detail will increase your ability to connect with them. Right now, as I write this book, actually right now as I read this book, I have 2 photos on the wall beside my desk, photos of my 2 ideal clients. In fact, these are 2 people I write all my material for, my blogs, my articles, my newsletters. When I make videos, I am speaking directly to them. I know these 2 people as well as I know my family and my close friends. These 2 people are the reason my business exists. I know their dreams, their plans, their pain, and everything I do is to help them lay foundations so they can have the greatest chance of success in their business startup. Over time, they have become as real to me as if they were actual clients. They're avatars. There are hybrid characters I have created so that it is easier for me to communicate with all my clients. So an avatar needs to be really specific. A common mistake I see people make is to create a customer avatar that is too broad and too general. I often hear from business owners, my product is for stay-at-home mums, for baby boomers, for Generation X, for dog lovers. These are way too broad and are examples of just one particular aspect of your client. Many people are terrified of being too specific because they have the belief that they will alienate other potential clients. This is definitely not the case. In fact, the opposite is true. Many other people will also buy your product or service. As I've said, the main reason you want to identify your ideal client is so that you can communicate with them directly. The more you know about them and the clearer you are about who they are, the easier it will be to find them and to inform them about your business and your fabulous products and services. Knowing about your ideal client influences your product design, product distribution, price, how you market, and where you market. It influences every single aspect of your business. This chapter is devoted to identifying who this person is and what they're really looking for. You may think it's strange that it sounds like I'm talking about one person, but I am talking about one person. When you are super clear about the identity of your ideal client, your business will fly. Here's something to watch out for though. When you find them, you may be surprised that what they are looking for is not exactly what you're selling. And what do I mean by this? I believe one of the best examples of the difference between what people buy and the value they seek comes from the weight loss industry. A client buys a weight loss program. They pay money for little boxes of food to be delivered to their house every week. But they're not buying little boxes of food. They're buying a new self. They're buying confidence. They're paying to improve their health. They're buying beauty, desirability, self-esteem. The list goes on. The weight loss companies know this really well. They know they are not in the business of selling little boxes of food. By the end of this chapter, you will have created your ideal avatar. You'll know all the details of their life, including what they're really looking for and the true value of what you are selling to them. The next section is called Identifying Your Ideal Client. I'm guessing that at some stage in your working life, you have already had clients whom you considered your favorites. Now it's our little secret that you like some clients more than others, and they're easy to spot. A particular client walks in and you think, "Nice to see you." Maybe you even say it out loud to them. You see their name on an order form they've completed, and you think to yourself, "I'm going to do this order first." The phone rings, and when you hear who it is, you want to take their call. An email arrives from them in your inbox, and you read their email before the others. You notice they're scheduled to come into the business later in the week, and you check your roster to make sure you're working that day. Let's call this person Sarah. When you see her or her name, you smile a little and you feel, well, that feeling we feel when someone we really like to work with has walked into our day. Take a minute to think about Sarah and consider, what is it that makes her easier to work with than all the others? Who is she, and why do you like working with her? What is it about Sarah that makes her special? I'm going to guess it has something to do with some or all of the following ways that Sarah behaves as a client. She's easy to deal with. She knows what she wants. She orders the same thing every time. She always turns up on time. She's always prepared. If she's going away, she lets you know. She knows when her next appointments are. She pays on the day. She has the right money. She always pays in full and doesn't haggle for discounts. She refers friends to your business. She makes helpful suggestions. She likes to know about any new products. She says thank you. You wish everyone was just like Sarah, and perhaps some of your other clients are, in fact, like Sarah. But can you imagine having a whole business where everyone is like Sarah? If you follow the steps in the rest of this chapter, you'll discover how to identify and find all the Sarah clients for your business. Okay, so next section, creating an ideal client avatar. A profile is a description of the person who is your ideal client. It has become popular to refer to this profile as an ideal client avatar. The ideal client avatar is made up of all the aspects of this client. To help us uncover all the various aspects, we look at 4 key areas: the geographic segmentation, the demographic profile, a psychographic profile, and a behaviour profile. So let's start with the first one, the geographic segmentation. This refers to the physical location of your ideal client. And the best way to explain this is by an example. For a cafe in an inner city suburb, the geographic profile of an ideal client could be lives within 5 kilometres of the cafe. A university might have a geographic profile anywhere in Australia or Southeast Asia. The iconic, anywhere in the world where goods can be delivered. And for some businesses, knowing the physical location of their clients is much more important than for others. When you think about your business idea, where will your clients come from? How far are they from where your business is? How do they get to your business? Do you deliver to them? How far are you prepared to deliver? How far do you need to be able to reach? I live in an inner city suburb where there's an amazing range of cafes, wine bars and restaurants. And I regularly eat at a favourite local restaurant because I live within walking distance. Makes it easy for me. This business depends on customers coming back regularly, and they know geographic profile is important. I'm one of their ideal clients. Now you're probably thinking, yes, you walk to the restaurant, but there will be people who come from other suburbs who drive. And this is certainly true. This particular restaurant has a second ideal client who lives a driving distance away. As your business develops, you'll identify multiple ideal clients. I strongly suggest, however, that you start with just one for now and keep things simple. The second aspect is demographic profile. The demographics are all the facts about a range of areas of a person's life. Think about your ideal customer in relation to some of the following aspects. How old are they? Are they male or female? Where do they live? Which suburb? Are they in a house, a flat, or an apartment? How many rooms do they have? Who do they live with? Are they single, in a relationship, married? Do they have children? Do they have pets? What do they look like? Tall, short, thin, fat, long hair, short hair, blonde, brunette, blue eyes, brown eyes, glasses, contacts? What sort of clothes do they wear? Modern, new, second-hand, retro? Are they working full-time, part-time? What is their education level? Where were they born? It'll take a bit of time for you to answer all these questions in relation to your ideal client. For now, you'll probably have to make an educated guess or use information from previous experience to start to piece together the answers. Some businesses create a male ideal client avatar and a female ideal client avatar. If you find this helpful, answer these questions in relation to Sarah and then in relation to Steve. What I often see people do is they think about demographic profile is think in terms of a range. When asked what gender or how old is your ideal client, women between 30 and 50. Now, that's a lot of women. We actually want to narrow that profile as much as possible. That way, when we're talking to our ideal client, they can hear what we're saying. Think about how you talk to a 30-year-old woman compared to a 50-year-old about your business. Would they really be the same? Or is it a business more geared towards a 30-year-old woman? There may just be a few 50-year-olds who occasionally buy from you. If you're trying to talk to everyone, no one ends up hearing what you're saying. It's too generic. One of my clients is a chiropractor. When we started working together, she told me her ideal client was anyone with a spine. Now we know that not everyone with a spine needs chiropractic services, so I challenged her to hone in on her favourite clients. We looked through her current clients using the above questions, and some more that we were going to look at in the next section. And she immediately identified the clients whom she most liked working with. She named these her ideal client. So here's the characteristics that she identified. Mostly female, although not all. They were aged between 40 and 45 years of age. They were married. They had 2 children. The children were between 8 and 12 years of age. They cared about their health because they wanted to enjoy time with their family. And they mostly worked desk jobs. And interestingly, they were mostly accountants or lawyers. Once she was able to get specific and honest about who she most wanted to treat clinically, she found the clarity and the words to connect with them. She was able to find more of them to talk to them when they came to see her, to treat them in her unique chiropractic way. Just knowing the profile of her ideal client meant a huge shift in her thinking and in the way she then attracted and retained the clients she loved to work with in her practice. And that's where I'm going to leave our ideal client for now in this episode. So this is part 1, and I shall continue reading in part 2 on the podcast. But for now, that's part 1. If you want to grab a copy of the book, head over to Amazon or wherever you buy your books online, or drop into your local bookshop. If you want to contact me directly because you've just got some questions you'd like to ask right now, then you can email me at ingrid@healthynumbers.com.au. If you want to check out our resources, www.healthynumbers.com.au, and we have a ton of resources on the website. Please connect with me on LinkedIn if we're not already connected, and I look forward to seeing you in the one of the interviews or in part 2 of the book. Thanks for listening.